How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL live stream here. It is Game Week 10. Let me see, can I move the right way? Yeah, there we go. Game Week 10, deadline, stream. I already see people in the chat, so I thought I'd start a few minutes early, because why not? So, yeah, we'll do the housekeeping once we move over to the team screen. So, yeah, let's get into it. How's everybody doing? Dynamic says, I'm thinking about doing Ziyech and Kane to KDB and Vardy for a -4 hit. How do I feel about that? The only thing with that, and you would still have Son. Also, thank you for the follow, Dynamic Skills 21. Much appreciated. Do you have an easy way? Do you still own Salah is the question. I would say is probably the main thing. If you still own Salah, then you're looking pretty good, personally. I'd be curious to know what the rest of your team in midfield looks like specifically. That'd be interesting to see. Because if you can afford Vardy up front, you already have Salah, you have KDB in there, you have Ziyech, and you have Son. Team's looking pretty good. Or at least have an avenue to get Salah back in for Game Week 12, because that's when you want him for his Fulham, right? I think on paper it seems fine. The only problem is that Kane hasn't blanked since Game Week 1, and again, Chelsea's going to be a team, much like City. They're going to have a good bit of the ball, unless, I mean, they are at home, so it's probably going to be more likely that they're going to want the ball. But, like, when it was United versus Chelsea, they were away from home. So they wanted to give us the ball because they knew that we had to break them down, and they were just defensively compact, right? So it was one of those things where United had to break them down. They knew they had to start getting clean sheets. And Spurs are going to do that same thing. The difference is that Chelsea's going to be at home, so I have to expect them to try to, take the initiative. I don't own Salah, but I can get him back in for Game Week 12. Then I think it's fine. Ziyech is probably somebody who's going to be involved to break down, Spurs' defense. And then they have Leeds. Everton away is probably pretty good because I think Digne is now flagged because he might be out for a while. Let's actually check to see if he's been flagged in FPL. He has. Yeah, apparently he's got some ankle injury that's going to keep him out for a month or two or something like that. So that could be a big blow to their defense that was already not great, but it might mean that we get rid of the likes of Calvert-Lewin and James Rodriguez sooner. But if you have an avenue to get him back in, then yeah, sure. Makes perfect sense. Feel bad getting Kane out, but think Vardy is the right move for the next few game weeks and keep more money in for the midfield. I mean, that's what I'm debating right now, right? Like, there's many different things that I can do this game week. I could do nothing. I can get rid of Son for KDB. I can get rid of Kane for Aguero if I want to go for a super, punt. I can get rid of Kane for Vardy. I can get rid of Kane and Son for Vardy / Aguero and Salah. I can get rid of Kane and Son for De Bruyne and Vardy. There's many different ways I can slice it. But yeah, I know your pain. I mean, just look at the numbers. Like, 2 is the only time he's blank. So 21, 5, 16, 16, 5, 6, 9, 4. So returning basically every game apart from the first one. I'm regretting getting Cancelo on last week now because I have no playing bench this week. Lamptey and Mitchell won't play. I'm so annoyed. Yeah, I mean, I had Mitchell in my to sell list this week because you can't guarantee him. And it also looks like Ferguson is it looks like he's back in training or he's doing workouts to improve his fitness or his strengthening. So he might be back in the team, which means not even Klein's a guarantee, which means Mitchell's definitely not playing. At least right now, there's a potential for like Klein plays one game, Mitchell plays the next. Those sorts of things. But yeah, Lamptey being... Well, I mean, Lamptey you probably wouldn't want to play this week anyway. I mean, as much as you would want a bench option, he's probably going to end up having like 1 or 0 points anyway, if he did play. So, here's what it is. I actually wanted to see City one more game. They haven't been abysmal of late. Yeah, I mean... I think the crucial thing to realize is that, in FPL, there's 2 different mindsets, right? You have form and then you have fixtures. Those are the 2 things that managers are going to look at, right? So the first thing that City have, the main thing that people are jumping on City is their fixtures, right? So if we take a look, this big patch, Game Week 10 to Game Week 22, you're going to want probably a City player in there at some point. And you can even say Man United away isn't bad. You can say it's not bad. Because again, no fans being in the ground makes it, a lot better, and United haven't been good at home this season. Chelsea away isn't necessarily a bad-ish fixture. City tend to do better against Chelsea, but probably only slightly. And the rest of them are just straight-up easy fixtures, right? So, and City should, if City are playing well, should be able to beat all of them. That's the reason why you're getting them. Let's move over to the transfer screen. Same with Vardy. Should be able to see the fixtures. Yeah. You're getting him in for these fixtures because you know that these defenses are weak. Fulham, Sheffield United, and Everton are in like the bottom 5, I want to say, for XG conceded, goals conceded, big chances conceded. And Brighton have conceded the most goals with the least amount of attempts. So, Who would you captain between KDB and Vardy? Oh, Vardy. 100%. 100%. Vardy's versus Fulham. And Fulham are, like, probably going to be 20th. I'd be very surprised if they weren't 20th. However, in recent... or in, like, historical data, De Bruyne has done well at home. Vardy typically does a little bit better when he's away from home. Mind you, that being said, they beat Southampton, what was it, 9-0 last season or whatever it was? Was it last season or season before last? Whenever they just absolutely destroyed them and Vardy got a hat-trick. I believe... Was that? Oh, that might have been away from home, actually. But I can't remember. I think Vardy does better, like, it's marginal, but he's better slightly away from home. But again, it's Fulham. Like, just because Fulham play Liverpool in Game Week 12, it's not, I'm not going to be like, oh, I want Mane over Salah because it's an away fixture and Mane does better. No, you're probably going to get points out of both of them. It's probably a good idea to get both of them in, if anything, if you can. I think Vardy or KDB, they're both scoring this week, almost certainly. Unless City have an absolute stinker and Burnley. I mean, Burnley have a few injuries too. Pope apparently got injured, so he's not playing. So they have a backup goalkeeper in there. So could be a shootout for City. I'm going to hold on to Bruno for this week. Yep, I think you should. I think Bruno was on the buy, hold, sell list on the hold section. I think if you have Bruno, these 2 fixtures are arguably better than the West Brom fixture because it's away from home. And if we look at Mr. Fernandez's points away from home this season, 12, 11, 17. Oh, I thought that was another away fixture, but 17, 11, and 12. Like, they're going to be ridiculous. And just something about him. And even when he played for Sporting as well. He was also like that. Away from home, a whole bunch of returns away from home. But yeah, it's a form over fixtures. Again, same with Kane. Kane and Son. The fixtures aren't great, although I think Arsenal and Crystal Palace are decent fixtures for them. I think Liverpool could be tough. Leicester could be interesting. Wolves, they might struggle a little bit, but the Chelsea, Arsenal, Crystal Palace games could be good. Could be. And they're just on fire. And they were both rested tonight as well, which is you definitely know that Son and Kane are playing, right? I saw value in getting Jota for my second transfer for bench fodder replacement. Yeah, I mean, I would say start Jota this week, to be honest, if you can. I don't know what your team looks like right now, Mono, but I would say if you bought him. Oh, there's your team. So McCarthy, Chilwell, Cresswell, Target, Bruno, Son. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Why not? I thought Jota is doing what he is right now. What I thought that Foden was gonna do, right? I thought that Foden was gonna be this, cheaper midfielder. He's gonna get a benching once every 4 games, maybe twice every 5 games, but he's going to play the majority of the minutes, and he's going to play in like that, that kind of utility role. Like sometimes he'll be out on the right, sometimes he'll be out on the left, sometimes he'll be in the midfield 3, wherever he's needed. Kind of the way Dallas plays for Leeds. Sometimes he's central midfield, sometimes he's left back, sometimes he's right back, sometimes he's left wing. He plays everywhere. I think the only position Dallas hasn't played is like goalkeeper. So, but yeah, I think Jota was a good transfer. I think I'm not going to get KDB at this stage for Son or Bruno and another -4 yet. Yeah, I would say it is, to be fair, it is a good week to potentially, pump brakes on City. It is their first fixture of their good run in effective sense. Burnley is a team that they typically do well against. However, that is under the circumstances that they're taking chances. Now, they haven't had Aguero in their team, and Aguero is just coming back from injury. Yeah, he got a few minutes versus Olympiacos, but is he going to be Aguero of, prime Aguero? Let's put the AC on. It's just one of those things where he could be quite good with Aguero coming back in, and maybe he starts. Who knows? But Burnley's a team that on any day can just tell the opposition, just no, you're not scoring. But they don't have Pope, which is a big boost. So I would say I'm starting to lean more on the side of City as well. Dynamic Skills 21 says, when will there be any double game weeks? Well, funny you should ask that. So, as we know from the beginning of the season, Man City, Man United, Burnley, and Aston Villa all had blanks from the beginning of the season. And that fixture was Man United versus Burnley, and the other one was Aston Villa versus City. I can't remember if it was home and away, or like for which team. But those are going to be played sometime probably in January, February. And fixtures could be piling up. So that's why I've been keeping my wildcard for until basically game week 16. Because game week 16, a wild card for this game week, it also turns out to be the time when Spurs' fixtures get good. So Spurs' fixtures get good from here. So like the Fulham game onwards. I don't know why this says December 30th. There's a game here. Not sure why that is. If that's the actual day, I don't know. But that's a bit wonky. But yeah, there will be double game weeks for sure. Like as early as game week 18, 19, and I can wildcard for that. And it also depends on. So we will know what double game weeks are going to be happening. I think it's after game week 14. There's Carabao Cup fixtures on like the 22nd or 23rd. So that's like Everton, United, Stoke, Spurs. City plays somebody, I think. Let me actually check. Let me check. Carabao Cup. Brentford, so Newcastle, Arsenal play City, Stoke play Spurs, and United play Everton. So the Newcastle versus Brentford, Arsenal versus City is on the 22nd, and then United and Everton and then Spurs and Stoke are on the 23rd. So those are going to create situations where there are double game weeks depending on who goes through for that. There's probably going to be more. Like, there's probably going to be a lot of double game weeks this year because of the amount of the fixture pile up. So like United just needs 1 point to progress in Europe. City's pretty much through, I think, if not already through. Chelsea's pretty much through, if not already through. Spurs are pretty much already through. Leicester's already pretty much through. Liverpool is pretty much through, even though they lost, but they just need like another win and then they're fine. So there's going to be a lot of fixtures. And then they still have the FA Cup as well. So we'll have to see. Mono, the Real City would smash Olympiacos 3-0. Probably. But their team wasn't... it's not the normal City team that you would see out there. There was no Kyle Walker. You had John Stones at the back. KDB wasn't even in the entire team. Yes, City won a season without KDB in their team for basically all of it, but that was a team that also had David Silva, Vincent Kompany, these sorts of players, and that fit Aguero, So, am I set on my captain this week? Well, that depends on who I bring in. But at the moment, it is on Sterling. If I were to bring in Vardy or Aguero or Salah or KDB, it'll probably go on one of those. Probably. I'm just trying to think if I should go with my gut instinct or go with my, what my head says. And my head says something that's pretty straightforward, which is just basically if you're going to make transfers, go for like the safe option. Like, if you're going to take out one of Kane or Son, it has to be a midfielder. Have the City ride for a couple of fixtures, then see what happens. Hanging on to Kane because Kane hasn't blanked, although Kane is less likely to get returns versus Chelsea because he's going to be playing a bit deeper and he's going to play the ball into Son. But yeah, for now it's on Sterling. If I bring in KDB, I might go on KDB. I think there are a lot of captaincy shots this week. Like Salah could easily score, Sterling could score, KDB could score, Aguero could score if he plays, Jesus could score if he plays. Kane and Son can still bang. I mean, even Bamford and Calvert-Lewin could have a shootout against each other. Fernandes has an away fixture. What else? I mean, there's even arguments to captain Callum Wilson. Could be a couple of goals there. Jamie Vardy versus Fulham, obviously. Antonio versus Aston Villa, maybe, if he's fit. Many captains. But I think a safe one is like a safe one is if you have Bruno, he could be one, but Southampton have given United trouble in the past. But you have to, in order to climb, you're gonna have to pick one of the top captains this week, because there's gonna be a lot of people captaining City assets. Even though Kane and Son have super high ownership but a bad fixture, they're going to be effective ownership is going to be quite high. So if you don't have them, period, they're going to hurt you. If they do, hurt Chelsea. Calvert-Lewin's probably going to be another one. I captained Calvert-Lewin last week. He's 60.1% owned. Would many be captaining on Salah? Let's find out, actually. Let me just put this back where it was. Salah. So Salah's 28.2% owned. I'd probably say he's going to be around probably 50% captaincy, effective captaincy or effective ownership. Because there's going to be people in the top 10K who got him out and then got him back in. There's some people who are going to have taken him out and left him out. So Salah's probably going to be decently up there. If I had to guess, probably the highest, like at least at the top ends of the, you know, the tables, it's probably going to be City mids, then probably Vardy, Mane, Salah is going to be next. Actually, Bruno might be in there as well, you know, because Bruno is like 37% ownership, and a lot of people in the top 10K probably have him as well. It's going to be a bit tricky. Because last week, Kane's effective ownership was, I think, like 117%, and Son's was like 75, 76, something like that. Because of they were still captained, and they returned. So Bruno is a season keeper. If United played like as if they were a top 4 team, if United played the way they played against Istanbul. Beşiktaşir, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Istanbul, the team they played in the Champions League on Tuesday, then Bruno would be a season keeper, yes. I would say so. Yeah, exactly. Like, the plays between him, like, Van der Beek was so good on Tuesday. The simple passes, the ability to beat the press, the ability to float around, get into positions, find space. Yeah, Van der Beek was insane on Tuesday. Literally, you saw it, like, especially the goal that actually was disallowed because Rashford was offside. That would have been the second goal. That goal, that constructed goal, was ridiculous. Quick one touch around the corner. Bruno knows that sort of stuff. Telles can do that sort of stuff. Martial does that stuff coming off the left. You know, that type of intricate play is what you want. You want those guys, so like the Martials, the Telleses, the Brunos, the Van der Beeks to do the intricate stuff. Have Cavani. Cavani can do it as well, and then you give it to the likes of your instinct players. So like your Rashfords, your Dan Jameses, these sorts of players that are just like they have raw ability. And they just need to be put in a position where every time it should be only one decision only. Make it as soon as you get the ball. Bang. Smash it in the net. Bang. Smash it in the net. Because if you let like Martial do like the tricky, intricate stuff, Bruno did tricky, intricate stuff, you get Rashford in one-on-one with the keeper, tell him smash it. Bang. In it goes. You know? Should I keep Cancelo this week or get Diaz in? I would say keep Cancelo. Cancelo's been playing pretty much every game. I would be very, very surprised that if Pep goes with Mendy or Zinchenko. Zinchenko's in his like doghouse, as it were, because of what, you know, his I think it was like his wife or partner or something said, or he said, I don't know, I can't remember. Mendy is just coming back from injury, plus he started versus Olympiacos. As did Cancelo, but Mendy is someone who is injury prone and is more suited to slower European football. And I think that if you have Cancelo, just keep him. Cancelo creates a crazy amount of chances, and they're going to need to create those chances. I think Pep's realized it, that he just needs somebody to put the ball in the net, because Cancelo creates chances, Sterling creates chances. De Bruyne creates chances. Ferran Torres creates chances. Phil Foden creates chances. So many people create chances. They need people to just score. So you're not going to start taking chances out of your team. Because the more chances you create, the more likely you are to score. That's the problem that's been with City over since they got 98 points and 100 points or whatever it was. They create an absolute stupid amount of chance. Like, imagine if Robert Lewandowski or Erling Haaland was in their team. They'd be like, and congratulations, Lewandowski wins the Golden Boot this year with 45 Premier League goals. Like, sure. Makes sense. You know? They would have that many chances put in the back of the net. Like, they're actually, like, they create so much. So many wasteful shots from Rashford and Martial for Bruno assist. Yeah, that was a bit of a problem, too. In the West Brom game. But I would say if you had a play, like if you're on a wild card and you were bringing in somebody, I would say Diaz is the more likely starter. But I'd say Cancelo just because I like more attacking players. Tellez has been decent going forward and crosses. Looks like he can be a bargain. I mean, Tellez has shown that in Europe he's wicked. Like actually, like in the 60 minutes he played versus PSG, like I'm still confused on how we haven't scored from a corner yet when Tellez takes it. He literally puts it whipped in on the penalty spot every time. Perfect height. All you have to do is take this thing and head it in the goal. You know? And Maguire, I don't even think's hit the target yet. You know? Like, if Matic is on the field, put him in there. He's tall. Instead of having him on the halfway line or way above the halfway line trying to defend Demba Ba as he breaks away and beats Matic for pace, you know? Like, we have so many good deliverers of the ball. Van der Beek for simple on the ground passes with intricate 1-2s. Bruno with, like, lofted passes or long-range passing. Tellez with set-piece delivery as well as Bruno, you know? Bruno could get another double-digit hole this week. I mean, yeah. I mean, let's look at Southampton, who they've played, right? Southampton, Crystal Palace, they lost 1-0. Okay, start of the season, sure, whatever. Spurs at home, they conceded 5. Burnley away, tightened it up, got a clean sheet. West Brom, tightened it up, got a clean sheet. We expect that. Those two teams don't score very often. Chelsea, 3-3. Again, another big team, concede a lot of goals. Everton at home, that was kind of a freak result in my opinion, but again, they kept a clean sheet. Aston Villa, they conceded 3 goals pretty much for free, but again, still show the vulnerabilities. Newcastle and Wolves, again, clean sheet and just the 1 goal. But against the bigger teams, they seem to concede a lot. And we know exactly, there are very few teams in the league that you know exactly what they're going to do. You know exactly what they're going to do. Southampton's one of them. You know they're going to play a 4-2-2-2 system or a 4-4-2 system, however you want to slice it. You're going to have Che Adams pressing from the front. Ward-Prowse and Romeu are going to be disruptors. Walcott's going to be in there pressing. You're going to have Armstrong on the other side pressing. They're going to hound you down. They're going to force you to hit the ball long. And then if they get some set pieces, the likes of Vestergaard, Romeu, Benderek, these sorts of players are going to get up in the box and they're going to put their head on the ball. So it's just one of those ones where you have to just be, be aware of exactly what they're doing. West Ham, another team. We know exactly how they're going to play. They're going to play 5-4-1 in defense. They're going to frustrate you. They're not going to press you at all, or not much. They're going to let you have the ball. And then when they get it, they're going to have Bowen and Fornals and Antonio and these sorts of players streak down the other end and have Souček make late runs in the box. And if they nick a set piece, Souček and Rice and Ogbonna and these sorts of players are going to be in there winning the headers. Souček was infamous for his late runs. Declan Rice is a completely different player for West Ham than he is for England. Liverpool, same thing. Workman-like midfield. Very attack-minded fullbacks. High pressing line. Front three presses from the front. If you go watch our tactics talk for the 1-1 that they have with City, you actually see where their gegenpress actually burns them for the City goal that they ended up scoring in that 1-1. So make sure you go check that out. I'm not worried about the Southampton game as a Man United fan. It depends. You know, it's just one of those things where it's an away fixture. United have been playing better at away fixtures, and could be good, could be bad. We'll have to see. I mean, Southampton are playing good football at the moment, and United are playing... I mean, they just come off a good win, but again, they beat a team that is probably worse than West Brom. You know. Thanks for the stream, top notch. I'm off to bed, 12:30 a.m. here. Have a good night, Mono. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I would say in normal circumstances, we should be, you know, as a United fan, we should be beating Southampton. But it is a bit concerning. It is an away fixture, and United should do well in that. But I'm actually going to bring up the Man United versus Southampton results. Let's see, head to head. So 2017-18, United won 1-0, drew 0-0, 2-2, 3-2 United, 1-1. So it usually ends in a draw, and it's very fine margins between the two teams. So could be a bit interesting. Could be a bit interesting. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure to give us a follow on the channel here. As well as, if you want to support the channel, it is optional. But if you would like to do so, you can get the starter cool emote that we have for the channel. And if you do a tier 2 or a tier 3, you can get one of these emotes here that I posted in the chat. If you want to support the channel, it is not required, but it is greatly appreciated. And also make sure to give us a follow and subscribe over on Twitter and YouTube, respectively. This is also going to go up on YouTube as well, and I'm going to be doing the Pep Roulette video once we're done here as well. So I haven't forgotten about that. And if I do any transfers, I might do the transfers on stream. I don't know yet. But I may leave it till the last minute. And post my lineup over on Twitter like I did in Gameweek 8. But we will see. We will see. But yeah, let's take a look at the good old goals imminent table. So Kevin De Bruyne is on there for those that are looking to potentially have him in. Jack Grealish is on there, very popular. Mane, some people have him, although he is somewhat lower owned. But again, away fixture this week, could be potentially scoring there. Interesting stuff. Let's see. Let's do a little search here. So, De Bruyne. We're just gonna see big chances and that sort of stuff. Sterling, Vardy. I'm just gonna go with all like the captaincy shouts for this week. Vardy, Bruno, Salah, Mane, Son, not Madison, this is gonna be fun. Trying to find Hyunmin Son when everyone has Son in their last name. Where's Hyunmin Son? There he is. Found him. Kane. There we go. Only show selected players. So this is going to be from... Yeah, we'll do Gameweek 5 onwards. Will you ever be on YouTube Live or have any game chats live with other FPL players? Possibly. Maybe someone picks us up and we play with them on a game or something like that. But that's probably further down the road, I would think. Not this season, probably, but maybe in the future. Eventually, what I want to do is have it to be all YouTube for FPL and have gaming stuff for Twitch. But I kind of want to elevate both platforms at the same time, so that people are still familiar with the Twitch stuff. So if they want to, if they still want to, you know, see me play, you know, gaming sort of stuff, then yeah. Play man FPL chats on YouTube with other FPL players. I hope so. I have my you know, have my email that people can contact me at on Twitter. So Scoutcast for Winter Chat. Yeah, I would love to do something like that. It's just a matter of first you got to grow first. You got to get a good rank probably as well, or at least do something that, you know, allows you to get noticed by like the you know, the FPL community. And I would love to do it one day. It'd be great. But this first season, well, season and a half, because I kind of include part of last season as like this season as well. Start off with, you know, get this first season or so under our belts. And then we can, you know, go from there. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's great. Yep. I mean, I'm trying to do my best. You know, every year I have to, like, all the graphics and stuff. That you see, the layouts, all that sort of stuff. I've had to either get someone to do it, but the majority of the stuff I've been able to, you know, accumulate for myself. So like the lighting setup, that's all manually done. I got the stands done and whatnot. The green screen, had to bring that in. The graphics that you see on like the captaincy video and all that sort of stuff, that's all been done in you know, my Photoshop. The videos, I edit them myself, or at least try to, you know. And when I first started doing it, I had no idea how to do it. So it was just a matter of practicing and getting better at it and seeing what works best. So, but yeah, let me move this table, if I can, across a little bit so we can see all of it. So, let's see who's getting the most big chances. Turns out it's Jamie Vardy, and that's probably because he gets penalties. So, let's take a look at XG non-penalty. So, XG non-penalty, Bruno Fernandes is actually up at the top, which is surprising. He's also second highest for XGI, expecting goal involvement since Game Week 5. Son and Kane are next on that list. So yeah, that's pretty surprising actually to see. But I mean, Bruno is doing what Bruno does best. Chances created 18 since Game Week 5. Pretty insane. Shots, he's the highest among shots as well. Inside the box, Kane, Salah, and Mane are tied for the most. Shots on target, the most shots on target is Bruno. Mind you, he has the most shots, so these, and again, he has penalties as well. I think those count. Big chances created. Again, Bruno Fernandes is up there. So again, Bruno Fernandes looks to be pretty good. Pretty good. If we actually go ahead and look at the season ticker here as well. Just going to maneuver this back and see if I can make this a little bit better. So it's game week. What are we looking at? Fixtures. So game week 16. So we want it up until and including game week 15. So we want to add one more. Sort by difficulty. So yeah, Man City has the best fixtures up until and including game week 15. There's no surprises there. And then Spurs arguably have the worst. But again, form over fixtures. Literally exactly what we're looking at here. City have Burnley, Fulham, West Brom, Newcastle at home. Perfect fixtures, you would think. Southampton away isn't necessarily bad because Southampton typically are worse at home. And can concede to teams that are, you know, very possession heavy and very chance heavy. And Man United's a derby, so anything's possible. Spurs, on the other hand, have Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Leicester, Wolves in those fixtures, with only Crystal Palace sandwiched in between them. And they've still been firing. So again, it's literally form over fixtures or fixtures over form, whichever one you're looking at. And it's a tough call. I'm struggling with it because I'm trying to think to myself, can I keep Kane and Son one more week? Just one more week? Maybe. I don't know. But then again, you know, you have situations where, you know, people are going to, you know, bring them in. The prices are going to go up. Then you could be priced out and all these sorts of things. And I don't think Kane and Son are going to go up like they did when they were firing initially, because they have bad fixtures. People are just going to be like, oh, well, it's Kane and Son. They're going to score. They're already really high ownership. Whatever. I don't care. I'm getting in my City assets. I'm getting in my Jamie Vardy's. I'm getting in my Salah's back. You know, all these sorts of things. In terms of defense, Aston Villa, you know, Newcastle, Burnley, Crystal Palace, West Brom, all in there. Teams that don't typically score very much. Wolves in there, which is another good defensive fixture because Wolves don't typically score more than one. Liverpool and Man City up there for defense as well. So Diaz and Cancelo could be two good, you know, defensive players in your team that can also have goal threat. Diaz from set pieces, Cancelo from chance creation. And I would expect them. You would think that City would keep a clean sheet versus Burnley, Fulham, West Brom. Pretty sure. You'd probably, if City don't come out of these fixtures here, the Burnley, Fulham, Man United, West Brom, Southampton, Newcastle, with at least 3 clean sheets, then something's gone awry. Something's not right. Newcastle's another one that could be good as well, because they have Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, West Brom, Leeds, Fulham, Man City, all teams that do concede goals. You know, and West Brom doesn't typically score many. Crystal Palace doesn't typically score many. So for defense and attack, it's looking quite good. It's looking quite good overall. There was something that I just wanted to check in terms of price rises while I'm thinking of it. Just to see who could potentially be going up and down tonight. So, are there any major players that are like close? Diaz is close-ish. James could go down. That's fine, even though I have him. Not really the end of the world. Let's see, where are like the main players? Yeah, De Bruyne is not going to go up. Aguero's not going to go down. Sterling's not going to go down or up. Vardy's not going to go up. Who else? Kane's not going to go down. Son isn't going to go down. Yeah, price rises are going to be fine. So, no need to worry about those either. for tonight because you can basically wait till the deadline if you want. And still be fine. You know, without having any repercussions of you know, making early transfers or anything like that as well. So but yeah, overall it's going to be interesting. Like Callum Wilson is someone I've got my eye on as well. We'll see how he comes back from his injury. He could be a budget forward. So let me actually take a look at you know, potential transfers and lines of thought here. So 2.5 million in the bank. So one line of play for me. This is all stemmed around a 3-week plan. So this is week 10, 11, 12. So right now I could do Son out and bring in where is he? Manchester City. Bring in the magically rested and fit and ready to go De Bruyne. We can bring him in, no problem. And then we captain De Bruyne because it's at home. If I want to go with something a little bit different, I mean, Sterling's 4.7. De Bruyne's 18.1. De Bruyne's ownership's probably going to be a little bit higher. But we know he's rested. We know he's definitely going to play. And then I could just run out that team. And then in game week 11, don't need to do anything. That team's perfectly fine. We could run that out again. Captain De Bruyne or Sterling again. And keep Kane. And then in game week 12, we can... actually, I don't think I have enough money to... No, I don't have enough money to do Calvert-Lewin and Rodriguez out for Salah and somebody. But I can do Kane and James out with the 2 free transfers. Salah comes back in. And then we have 6.6 to play with. So that could be Watkins. That could be Wilson if he doesn't go up. That could be Antonio. It could be a bunch of different players that could do quite well up until, you know, when we need to get rid of them, basically. We can also, if let's say City aren't firing as much as what we would like, but we still want to keep them because their fixtures are good, we could keep Kane. We can get rid of James. We can get rid of Sterling. We could bring in Salah. And then we could bring in Jota or somebody of that ilk. And put them in there. Another plan would be get rid of Kane and bring in Vardy. But another plan that I was also thinking of is get rid of Kane. And bring in Aguero. Then don't do anything for that game week. Or if we brought in Aguero or Vardy, we have enough money to go up to Salah as well, which would be ideal. But we can hang on to Son if we think he's going to do well. Because again, counterattack versus Chelsea and Arsenal look to be, or at least against Chelsea, look to be quite good. He's the higher owned of the two. He's the more explosive of the two. So we can hang on to Son. Then, in the game week 12, get rid of James Rodriguez, get rid of Heung-min Son, bring in Salah, assuming Aguero is still fit, and then you could bring in, like again, Jota or, you know, whoever. maybe we bring in, we do a -4 and we bring in, we get rid of Calvert-Lewin 2 and bring in an extra mil. So let's say we go Callum Wilson. Then we have 8.8, so we can go like Ziyech or somebody like that. And from 12 onwards, they have Everton, Wolves, West Ham, Arsenal, Aston Villa. Should be some decent returns there. Don't expect massive returns, but and then obviously what a lot of people are doing this week is they're getting rid of their Sons, their Kanes. They're bringing Salah back, and they're bringing Vardy in. But this could also be De Bruyne as well. So I'll just say we'll just put De Bruyne in there for now, because it doesn't really, this 0.9 or the difference between Salah and Kane's value, or Salah and De Bruyne's value, doesn't really matter. So we bring him in. We keep Vardy for these first 3 fixtures. See how it goes. And then for so we do nothing game week 11. Game week 12, we can then go up from one of these City players when they play United. And Salah won't be 12.5 million, but if he is, we could still pay it. And then in game week 12, they have Fulham, which is where we would want him back. And if Aguero's still firing, or maybe one of him or Jesus are injured, we can take Vardy out and put him in. And go from there. Or we can keep him in, and then we can get rid of James Rodriguez and bring in Jota there as well. Yeah, there's many different ways we can slice it. The one play that I would like to do this week, like the one that like my brain is saying, do it, it's gonna be for, so fun, but getting rid of Kane just seems so bad, is just taking Kane out and putting in Aguero. Or taking out Son. Like, I want 2 City players for this game, because I don't think many, like, there's going to be people that have a City player, but not necessarily 2. And if one of those is Aguero, and he, like, has a hat-trick, and he's 1.3% owned, then, we're in the money. But again, it's how good is he going to be? He's probably only going to play 60 minutes as well. He might not even start. That's the worry. So the safer play, even though I like Son better versus Chelsea specifically, would be to get rid of Son and bring in De Bruyne. And then just ride it out with Kane in game week 11. Because he versus Arsenal. He likes scoring versus Arsenal. Or if I see that, like, I can still always go, to Aguero here and go for a City triple up, which would be probably stupid, because then I have no way to get Salah in unless I get rid of one of these 2. And these 2 are more likely to start than, than Aguero is. But it's a bit tough. I'm going to need to wait for press conferences, so you guys are probably going to get a tweet that shows you what my team is. But what I might do is I might do a poll. So these are going to be the options. So it's either going to be Son out for KDB, bank the transfer in 11. And then go Kane and James Rodriguez out for Salah and Cheapy. Like a 6 million forward. Or it's going to be Son and Kane out for Vardy/Aguero and City mid. Or Vardy/Aguero and and Salah. I mean, I could even do this week. I can go Aguero, and De Bruyne, and just go triple City and just go ham. Just go straight crazy. And keep Aguero for at least 2 fixtures. The 2 where he, and see how he goes. And then basically assess these 3 and see who's doing the best or worst. And if it's one of these midfielders, let's say Sterling or De Bruyne, isn't doing what they should be doing, Sterling is still able to come out for Salah. De Bruyne is still able to come out for Salah with just 1 transfer. And then Aguero out with James Rodriguez is 2 transfers, which we can do because we'll have 2 frees. So those are potentially the options. So I'm going to put those in a poll probably. Over on YouTube, and yeah, we'll go from there. But I think that is probably going to do it for this evening. So let's go through all of the socials and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. And make sure to leave a comment down below as who's your captain's going to be, who's your transfers, all that good stuff. And any other questions that you might have. And turn the notification bells on. Also, if you're here on Twitch, thank you for watching us live. Again, we do these live stream VODs for those watching on YouTube over on Twitch. This one was at 7 p.m. EST. There's usually a pinned comment down below in the comment section on YouTube to show you when our next stream is going to be. But you can also keep up to date on Twitter as well. Links are in the description on both Twitch and Twitter, and on YouTube as well in the description drop down field thing. All of the stuff's in there, so make sure to follow us on all the platforms and you can get all the content relating Pilot Flame 226. Everything will be in there. Also, if you are willing to support the channel and subscribe on Twitch, you can do so. It is not required, but it is definitely appreciated. We do have 1 emote in there. I'm going to be changing the name. It is a pilot approved logo or emote, and then the other ones are tier 2 and tier 3 emotes, which are pretty cool, so make sure to check those out. And lastly, make sure, like I said, follow us on Twitter, because I will be putting my team out on what transfers I made before the deadline, which is... When is the deadline? That's not the deadline. So the deadline is 2:30 my time, and I'm 1 hour ahead of EST, so it's going to be 1:30 p.m. EST. So make sure to check Twitter closer to that time. You'll see my my team up and who I've captained and that sort of stuff. I'll try to do it, at least a little bit before the deadline. So if you wanted to, I know some people like to copy people's transfers or whatever, or like to see what one of their favorite FPL managers, hopefully that's me, have done with their team. So make sure to follow us there so you see what I ended up doing. So thank you all for watching. And make sure to check out Pep Roulette as well if you watch this video first by any chance. But I'm going to go be recording that, and they should be both up around similar-ish times up on the channel, being the 26th of November. And for all my fellow Americans, happy Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, whatever you want to call it. And hope you all enjoy it. And until the next one, take care.